we're exploring the situation, taking sticks away, wondering whether we can add them back in, getting a feel for things like this idea of an outside stick, inside stick. I wonder if that idea is going to be useful to me. Well, the thing to do is to harvest the ideas before we forget them. So I'll just make a note on the back of my envelope of that idea. In my mind, that's brought another idea into my mind, because I've now thought, well, how many sticks do you need to make a square? Let's just get a square by itself. If you did that, you'd see that 1, 2, 3, 4 sticks are needed to make a square. If you make another square, sort of by itself, there's 4. 4 sticks make a square. Well, let's put it back to how it was. Four sticks make a square. So the question that sort of popped into my mind is, well, if 4 sticks make a square and we just move some of the sticks around, how's that going to make a different number of squares? Because we've got the same number of sticks, and 4 sticks make a square. So I'm a bit puzzled by that. But then that leads to the idea, well, supposing you've already got 1 square, then you add on another square, you only need 3 more sticks to make the square. 1, 2, 3. So we didn't need 8, we just needed 7, 3 more. So it's not always 4, sometimes it's 3. So that's another idea that I'm going to make a note of it, see if it leads anywhere in the end. So then I might think, well, sort of mathematically, you've got 16, we want 4, 16 divided by 4 would give us 4. So it'd be like if we, this isn't the answer obviously, but if we made squares out of 4 sticks every time, then 1, 2, 3, then we got our 4. That's kind of like the answer we want. We've got the 4 squares, we've used up the 16 sticks, but of course I moved loads of sticks to get it like that, so that isn't the real answer. Let's put it back to how it was. Or is it the real answer? Is there a way? There we've got detached squares. So I suppose detached squares, I quite like that word detached. I'm going to put that down. What I'm looking for is ideas. I'm inventing ideas that help me explore the situation, giving names to them. These ideas don't have to be proper maths, because we can follow the principle, cross the flimsy stepping stones to reach the strong ones. So an idea did pop into my mind about the number of sticks that you need for a square. So for instance, if you just had, take these away a minute, if you have 1 square, that uses up 4 sticks, doesn't it? 4 sticks for 1 square. And they told us that there were 16 sticks, and we're aiming for 4 squares. So that means that if we have a 4 stick square, 4 of them are going to use up all 16 sticks. So that kind of gives me an idea. Let's just see what that would look like. I have to rearrange the sticks a bit. So, for instance, we've got that like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 squares is 4. You can see we've used up all the sticks. So, unlike how we started, these are all separate from one another, which is why we're using up 4 sticks to make one square. That's separate, detached. I'm going to call it those detached squares. And I'm going to write it down on the back of my envelope because I want to harvest the idea in case I forget it. I'm invoking the principle that the idea that leads to the solution starts life as a nebulous glimmer that you might easily miss. When some idea, however vague, begins to whisper in your mind, capture it before you lose it and try to turn it into a question or a way to explore. So I've got this idea of detached squares. They seem to, let's just put it back to how it started. So now the question becomes, we've seen a potential answer, but can we make them into detached squares just by moving 2 of them? So we go back to, it's like a promising line of approach. I want to move, if we detach that one, trouble is then we've got all these ones even more kind of joined together instead of less detached. What else can we do? If we're going to have them all detached, we've got to detach that one. Then we've got to do something with these. And these are still glued together. So I don't know. I feel that I'm onto something, but it doesn't seem to work. I'm getting kind of frustrated by it now. So maybe I'll just have a rest, go and get myself a glass of water. Detached, semi-detached, semi-detached. If that's a kind of semi-detached situation, if I do that, now that feels very, very interesting because I've kind of taken away, this stick is kind of out of circulation now. It's not contributing to a square, but neither is it a loose end either. So I hadn't noticed that before, that kind of semi-detached idea. I wonder if I can somehow do that again. Do that again. There. Do it like that. Put that there. Let's have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've used all the sticks. None of them are loose. Looks like we've got there.